Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome. Thank you very, very much for coming to the unveiling of Kettle. I'm sure you're very curious after seeing all these kettles hanging in the tea bags and the milk and this biscuit hunt and so on. Before I actually go into Kettle, I just want to sort of bring about my thinking around why I termed it Kettle and have this vision of a kettle with regards to this unknown secret that you don't know about. One afternoon after work, I was sitting in major traffic, as you can see, and I decided to buy a copy of Funny Money, which is basically a pamphlet filled with jokes. And in this little pamphlet, I saw this one joke that really caught my eye, and it gave me a lot of laughter. It said, "Life before the computer. Memory was something that you lost with age. An application was for employment. A program was a TV show. A keyboard was a piano. A hard drive was a long trip on the road. And if you had a 3.5-inch floppy, you just hoped nobody found out." So after having a fat giggle with myself, I started thinking really actually how true this is, how our language actually and communication and vocabulary has changed so drastically, both positively and negatively. An example of something negative, I would say, but I don't know if it should be viewed that way, but here we go. Here's this SMS that I received from a student. And this SMS really got me to struggle a little bit in deciphering what it really was telling me. And it said the class was great with an 8. Can I send my part by 3 tomorrow? Still working on it. And I need to sleep. Enjoyed the rest of the night from the wacky one. At that point, I was a bit confused. Is that the wake one or the wacky one? Later on, I found out and learned that it was actually the wacky one, which is appropriate because it was a wacky student that sent it to me. But that gives me brings me into the realm of acronyms that we've actually incorporated into our language and our communication. And we say, have you got a USB to lend me? I need to copy this. I've only got I've got a terabyte of a hard drive, but what kind of machine do you have? What kind of hard drive? Looking at images, you see IMG, and you say, okay, is it a JPEG or is it a PNG, which is different types of pictures? If we look at the fact that we say, no, the film is in AVI, but I need an FLV, can you actually maybe change it into WMV? And again, we're talking about all these acronyms, ROM, RAM, gigs, megabytes, bits per second, just understanding that all of these terms, ATM and so on, have actually been incorporated into our language. And we need to realize that our language has changed due to computers. Which brings me to when I was standing with my vice principal the one day chatting about, what we're going to be doing, when he said to me, "Have you worked on Kettle yet?" And I went, "Huh? Is my role now to put the kettle on?" I was very confused. Later, he said to me that I need to write on the kettle. I was flummoxed. I said, "Now, must I deface company property now? Should I actually mention to him that we only have a boiler?" Then I had this image. I could put there, Sonia was here on the kettle. Finally, I was enlightened that kettle actually was not kettle as in what boils water, but actually the Center for Interactive Teaching and Learning. And I thought that kettle actually was an appropriate term or sort of saying of calling CITL, because of the mere fact that when you associate a kettle, you associate it with cup of coffee or cup of tea, and people sitting down over their tea or coffee and chatting and having a conversation and discussing. And that's really what kettle is all about. It's about having those conversations and so on, and that space. But it's not being limited now anymore to just a campus, but those conversations can now happen on a national level, where we can engage with lecturers that are in the same subjects or same field as we are, and actually talk to them and say, "I've got a problem with this. Can't manage to find the solution on that one. Are your students struggling with this section?" Etc. And it's about, I found this interesting article. So here we go. We're going to look at and understand what kettle is. Kettle looks like this as a landing page. You'll see I've circled the login button, which we'll talk about a bit later when we log in. But I want you to look at the menu bar at the top where it says Home, Intro, Technology Enhanced Learning, One App at a Time, Help, and Contact Us. When we've logged in, you see that's going to change. But before we do that, we're going to look at why should you log on? What are the benefits of really logging on? As I said to you earlier, it's about problem solving, but on a national level. I had a problem with baggage, and this lecturer turned to me and said, no, this is the solution to the baggage issue in tourism. Later on, I made a comment on a textbook, and somebody said the same comment and agreed. So there we were collaborating. But furthermore, what we could collaborate on is uploading those articles that we've come across, the newspaper clippings, YouTube clip, whatever. Allow lecturers around the country to see the kind of knowledge that you've gained, and it might show them a different way or a different perspective of putting things in, bringing things into the classroom, which brings us to the conversations on a national level. It's a national forum for conversations, allowing us to discuss issues that we're encountering so that we can then go to our HODs and say, listen, we really are, on a national level, struggling with this. It's not just me at Cape Town or me in Durban or whoever it is, wherever. And we could take that further and say, this is what we're experiencing. And that can then be taken to national level. The last but not least, I think it's probably the most important, is actually looking at the teaching portfolio, because in there we're going to be putting in how we want to become a better lecturer. And that's what the portfolio is there for. But Kettle can actually help us, because not only are we using technology to help us learn, not just the students, it's enhancing our learning. It's also about collaboration with other lecturers and gaining different insights into our courses that we are lecturing on. So then, if we all agree on these benefits, we would log in. And how we would log in is you would first go to the URL button at the top of your browser. You see, already another acronym creeping into our language. And there you would see, or type in www.vclecturer.co.za. Once you've done that, it should bring you to this. You would then hit the green button, as we said earlier, and you'd get the login. Now, the username and password is the first part of your email address with the VC Connect email. So my email address is ssharp@vcconnect.co.za. Therefore, my username is ssharp and my password is ssharp. However, should you encounter any problems with login, you can contact either your TEL, me, or you could contact Victoria, who basically runs and manages the Kettle site. And her email address is vnewport-gwilt, which is spelled GWILT, @varsitycollege.co.za. Please, if you've got any other problems besides login, please rather go to come to me, your technology enhanced learning champion, because I'm the one that would be the one to relay the news to Victoria, and then I'll give it back to you. Otherwise, she gets inundated with emails from all over the country, when I'd rather have it from where I summarize from all the lecturers any kind of feedback that she needs. And then she gets one mail. Once we're in, you'll see that the menu bar at the top has changed, and it says Home, Intro. Now we've got Community, and we've got Program and Modules. I'm going to focus on program and modules because that's probably the most sort of applicable one, but also community is very important. By all means, have a look-see in technology enhanced learning, because Anne has put in a whole variety of information about using technology enhanced learning tools, as in Web 2.0. If we go into the program modules button, we would go and we would see the following. Okay, and we would see full-time programs, part-time programs, and phase-out programs. I'm going to focus on the full-time programs. I'm going to first look at the IIE, and then I'm going to show you a specific module within the UNISA programs. So here we go. We're looking into the IIE. Click on IIE, and we would see that it's got the degrees going right down through to diplomas. And within each degree or diploma, you'll see all the courses that are within in that course. And you'd have a look at it and you can see this is first semester, right, these are the topics. And you could click into that specific one if it belongs to you and subscribe to it, so that if any news comes in, then you can see it via email and then go on to Kettle and respond back. Okay? I'm going to show you exactly what I mean by what you can get on one of those, but this is on the UNISA program. It's economics run by Craig Fortain at Cape Town campus. And he has basically put up here a whole variety of things. Other people have submitted things, but he has put in the course outline. He's put in class tests and solutions for a variety of chapters. He's also put in there Rising Capitalism as a video for lecturers to look at, which can help them as lecturers show their students things, which is about sharing. And this is exactly what I mean by using it. If you don't want to share, that's fine. At least engage. Look. Use information. Try and learn from some of this. Take that information, incorporate it into your own teaching. Make yourself become a better lecturer by having more information by people that are experienced. Module leaders are those that we believe are the best in the country in that specific field. So basically, all I would like to ask is have a look. Go put that kettle on, brew yourself a cup of tea or a nice cup of coffee, sit down, log in, and go and enjoy exploring Kettle and enjoying what it has available to you and is available on offer. I'd like to thank you for your time, and I hope you enjoyed this. Thank you.